I kissed my ex. The words landed like a blunt instrument. Not sharp enough to kill, but heavy enough to crush the air out of the room. Maya's voice trembled, her eyes glassy, pupils darting anywhere but me. I felt my throat close, my jaw tighten. A slow paralysis crawling through my chest. What? I asked, but my voice sounded wrong, like it belonged to someone else. She swallowed hard. It was a moment of weakness. I regret it so. I didn't hear the rest. My brain just blanked. The cafe around us faded. The hiss of the espresso machine, the clinking of spoons, the quiet chatter of strangers, all of it drained into a dull hum. For a second I thought she was joking. Maya didn't joke like this, but denial's a funny thing. It makes you invent miracles where there are none. Then I saw it. The tremor in her hands, the way her coffee cup rattled slightly on the saucer. Her bottom lip trembling like she was trying to stop herself from saying anything more. She wasn't joking. It started a week earlier. Maya had been distant. The kind of distant that doesn't come from tiredness or stress, but from guilt trying to wear a smile. She'd been scrolling her phone with the screen turned slightly away, sleeping with her back to me, laughing too easily at messages that weren't mine. I noticed, of course I did. But I told myself not to spiral. Everyone says trust is the backbone of love, right? So I clung to that, even as it splintered beneath me. One night, as we lay in bed, I asked softly, "Everything okay?" She exhaled long and slow. "Yeah, of course. Just work." Her hand found mine under the blanket, squeezing it gently. Her skin was warm, reassuring. Still, something in her touch felt borrowed. I wanted to believe her. I needed to. Then Friday came. She said she was meeting some old friends. College group reunion at Leo's bar. I even offered to drop her off, but she laughed. "You'd be bored to death, babe. It's just going to be reminiscing and gossip." She kissed me on the cheek before leaving, her perfume lingering in the doorway long after she was gone. That night, I sat on the couch watching a movie I couldn't follow. The popcorn went stale in my lap. My eyes kept drifting to my phone. No texts. Around midnight, she called. "Hey," she said, voice faint like she was speaking from underwater. "Hey. Everything good?" "Yeah. Just heading home now." There was a pause. A muffled laugh in the background, male. Familiar even. "Who's that?" I asked. "Just Leo," she said quickly. "He's giving me a ride. My phone's dying, so I'll talk when I get home." "Okay. Okay." But she didn't come home for another hour. When she did, she slipped into bed quietly, smelling faintly of whiskey and mint gum. I didn't say a word. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. But I didn't. Because I was afraid of the answer. Now here we were. In a cafe that had once been ours. Where we used to sit for hours planning trips, sharing inside jokes, pretending forever was guaranteed. "I kissed him," she said again, quieter this time. Her eyes were red. "It just happened. We were talking, reminiscing, and it got emotional. I didn't mean for it to." I pressed my palms to my eyes. "You didn't mean for it to?" "I swear it wasn't planned." "How comforting," I muttered, voice shaking with bitter laughter. Spontaneous betrayal. Beautiful. Tears welled in her eyes. "Please don't do that." "Do what?" "Make it sound like I wanted this." "Didn't you?" I snapped. "You went to meet him. You stayed out late. You lied to me. What did you think would happen?" Her breath hitched. "I didn't plan to see him alone. The group bailed last minute. I should have left, I know. But when he started talking about us, about how he missed what we had, I don't know. I got caught up in it." Her voice broke. "It was one kiss. One stupid, meaningless kiss." I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because that word meaningless was obscene. If it was meaningless, why did she look like she was dying to be forgiven? The silence that followed felt suffocating. Every inhale hurt. Every thought clawed. I stared at her across the table, and all I could think of were the small, fragile moments we'd built. Our Sunday morning pancakes, the way she'd steal my hoodie, the late-night drives when she'd sing off-key and laugh when I joined in. How could that person do this? "Maya," I said finally, my voice barely above a whisper. "Why tell me?" She blinked. "What?" "You could have hidden it. Pretended it never happened. Why tell me?" She hesitated, then whispered. "Because I love you. And I couldn't live with the lie." The irony of that statement twisted in my gut. Love, that word again. The word that people wield like a weapon and a shield. I looked down at my coffee. It had gone cold, like everything else. Later, in the car, she cried silently beside me. Streetlights flashed over her face, slicing her expression into fragments. Remorse, fear, shame, something else I couldn't name. I kept my eyes on the road. The steering wheel felt slick beneath my hands. "I'll do anything to fix this," she whispered. "Please just don't give up on us." "Us," I repeated numbly. "You mean the version of us that existed before that night? Because that's gone." She turned toward me, desperate. "It doesn't have to be." I exhaled, shaking my head. "You don't understand. It's not the kiss, Maya. It's everything that led to it. The lies. The choice. The fact that you looked me in the eye and said, 'Just friends.' That's the part that won't stop replaying." A tear slid down her cheek. "I hate myself for it." "Yeah," I said quietly. "So do I." Weeks passed. We tried. Or at least she did. I just existed beside her. There were moments when she reached for me, and I didn't pull away. Nights where she cried into my chest and I held her. Not out of love but habit. But something inside me had changed. Something irreversible. Then one evening, as I scrolled through my messages, I saw her phone buzz on the table. A text. From Leo. "Thinking about you again. I know I shouldn't." Her phone lit again a second later. "Don't tell him. Please." My heart stopped. When she came out of the shower, towel wrapped around her hair, humming softly, I was sitting there, her phone in my hand. Her eyes froze when she saw my face. "Maya," I said, voice steady, calm in the way a storm's eye is calm. "You said it was one kiss." She paled. "It was. I swear." I held up the screen. The message glowed like a blade between us. She went still. And in that silence, the truth finally spoke for itself. I didn't yell. Didn't throw anything. Didn't cry. I just stood, walked to the door and said quietly, "Weakness isn't a moment. It's a choice you make twice." When I closed the door behind me, I realized something cruel and clear. She had confessed to ease her guilt, not to save our love. And I had stayed to protect my memory of her, not the reality. That night, as I drove away under a bleeding sunset, I finally stopped imagining the sound of her voice. The silence was devastating, but it was honest.